Yeah, you. The one listening to this show. What shirt are you wearing? It doesn't matter. It's trash. It's a terrible shirt. You should tear it off right now and be ashamed of yourself. You need to go buy my shirt, AJ Orsini's shirt, the official Orsini's Uncensored Mind t-shirt. How can you get this shirt? I'm glad you asked, you big dummy. All you need to do is go to prowrestlingtees.com/AJOUM and buy the shirt. It's gray with a good logo on it. It's a beautiful thing. You need to buy it for yourself and your family and your friends. Stocking stuffers under the tree. I don't care what you do. You can wash your car with it. You can use it as a bookmark. It's a dumb bookmark, but you can use it as a bookmark. I don't care what you do with it. If you're Spanish, you can tear it to pieces and clean your house with it like you always do with those other rags. Maybe you could update your stuff. I don't care what you do it for. Buy the shirt. prowrestlingtees.com/AJOUM. Warning. The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on the show are reflective of AJ Orsini and his guests exclusively. But seriously, guys, the show's called Uncensored. If you got a problem with bad language, I really don't give a shit.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
How the hell is everybody out there? This is your man, this is your boy, AJ Orsini. I am your host of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and I am here to present unto you, I bequeath unto all of you, episode 47. Now, there's a lot of things going on here in the House of O, and it just seems like the last few weeks on this show, I have been terrified, I've been scared to be on my own here because I have just had guests after guest after guest after guest so far. This has been like the month of guests so far, and the trend continues because I am once again not alone. I am here once again in the House of O, but not for long. I will not be in the House of O for very long. As a matter of fact, the clock is ticking. It is Tuesday night and Thursday morning. I am gone. Okay, I was going to say hit the road, but not hit the road. I'm going to be hitting the airways here. I'm flying the hell out of here. I need a break from the concrete jungle. I need to get the hell out of New York City. And I am not going alone, dear kind sir. No. I will have my family with me. As a matter of fact, I have got family with me here tonight. Now you're gonna get a little taste of her in an upcoming episode that we already filmed, but she's back. She hasn't been here, I think, since episode 225. It's been quite a while, 22 weeks, give or take, since the last time she was here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. O is back on the show. Mrs. O, welcome back.
What's up?
That momentary pause. What's up? It's been a while since you've been here. What's been keeping you? What's been going on? The fans have been clamoring for you to be back here on the show. You've been keeping them waiting.
No fans have been clamoring for me.
Untrue.
If you have been clamoring for me, please type in the box. I want more of Mrs. O. Just prove me right or prove me wrong.
Yes.
Nobody wants Mrs. O. Everyone wants Mr. O.
There's been 47 episodes as of right now. There have been 47 episodes, and Podbean likes to keep track of all my highest downloaded shows, and of the top 10, you're in like 3 of them. So, whether you like to admit it or not, high demand here.
It's not because of me. Supporting actress is not why people watch a movie.
Supporting actresses still get Oscars, I'm just saying.
No, they may get Oscars.
They're still winners.
But no. I'm like Kevin Hart right now. No.
Yes, we actually have to tell that story. As a matter of fact, since you're here, you can definitely vouch for that. I told a little bit about that show when David was on the show, when my brother was on the show, the Brothers O. Yeah, I've had David on the show. Actually, before him, it was Maddie Ming alone. Then it was my brother. Then it was Ariella. And then it was, you guys don't know this yet, but I'm going to talk about it a little later. We filmed the roundtable already for SummerSlam. We filmed it last week because, like I just said, we're getting ready to leave On Thursday, you and I are getting the fuck out of here. We're hitting the bricks and we're heading down to sunny old Florida. Literally,
we are spending SummerSlam like we always do.
It always seems to land on it, right?
I know.
SummerSlam always seems to land on our vacation.
We spend it in Florida in a hotel room watching it with a laptop connected to the TV through HDMI while son is sleeping. And we're just snuggled up after a day of either water park or Shamu and just watching SummerSlam until I go to sleep. And then you end up watching the rest yourself. And then you tell me what I missed. And then you replay it the next day for me, all the awesome parts that I missed.
And that's how our relationship works, step by step. That's usually how it ends up happening. Just like that. Florida usually holds the NXT superstars over at Full Sail in Orlando, and we'll be flip-flopping. They'll be in our neighborhood here in Brooklyn, and then we're going to be down in their neck of the woods over in Orlando. Always seems to work out that way. So, yes. So, we're going to start off talking about that. We're going on vacation, so I'm going to have to explain some things to the fans out there so that they're ready for the episodes to come here. So, this episode is going to air on Wednesday the 15th. This is the day before that we're leaving. So I took the liberty of already filming or already recording the SummerSlam Roundtable, which is going to air the day of SummerSlam. August 19th, folks, just like all the other roundtables, they'll be going up. It'll be going up at noon or at my earliest convenience because we have things we're doing in Florida. We're going to be taking a lot of different events and a lot of different attractions, and we're doing a bunch of shit. We're on vacation. So I'm not going to wrap my vacation around this show. What I'm saying is if I'm literally not doing anything around noon on Sunday, I will air it. If it takes me a little while longer or maybe even earlier in the day to get that posted, bear with me. That's it will be going up on SummerSlam Sunday. Having said that, I'm still airing. I'm just repeating all the stuff that I always say for all the round tables. The round table is taking place, but it's not taking the place of my Wednesday shows. You'll still be getting a brand new episode of the show on Wednesday nights. I'm just adding an additional show for the SummerSlam pay-per-view. So you guys are going this is episode 47. Episode 48 will land on SummerSlam Sunday, and then episode 49 will be airing the following Wednesday. Now, I have not decided as of yet, and I probably should get on this ASAP, if 49 is going to be brand new content or something that I already previously recorded that you just haven't heard yet that I will be airing on that particular Wednesday. I took the liberty of adding or recording some extra content, some extra stuff that never made it to the show. I have a whole bunch of that sitting in the wings, so to speak, in case I ever needed it. Because things happen in life, and if I don't get a chance to sit down and record, I at least have some content in my back pocket here to air in case of an emergency. So I have not decided just yet how I'm going to go about this, but there will be an episode next Wednesday, 9 p.m., episode 49. What will it consist of? Who knows? I don't know, and I'm the host of the show. So if I don't know, then who the fuck knows, right? So that's the deal. We're going on vacation. There's going to be a lot of confusion going on with me in my life in the next few days. So I'm just giving you guys the heads up. If you want to be updated on everything that's been going on, check out the social media, which is probably the best place. The Facebook page is usually the first place that's going to get stuff set up to keep you guys up to date as to what's going on. And, of course, you can always just check back to Podbean. If you can't access Podbean, look at that segue. I'm a professional. See, if you can't follow me on Podbean, you move it over to my other platforms, iTunes, Spotify, which is becoming huge for me, Spotify. I'm getting a lot of different things coming at me from Spotify. Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, Listen Notes, and, of course, CastBox.fm are also carrying the show. You can check me out there. And all that in the whatnot. Mrs. O, you haven't been on the show in a while, and I've added some elements to the show along the way. I got 2 segments that I've added to the show. One that you've already been briefed on because you're providing the material for that one segment, and of course we've already discussed our top news story of the day or the week, I should say, since my show is weekly. We'll do the big news event of the week, which I think everyone knows by now what it will be. but we'll save that for later. We have unfortunate news that we have to start the show on. Unfortunately, one of our brothers, we lost one of the members of the fraternity just the other day, Mr. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, 1/2 and 1/5, in my opinion, one of the greatest factions and stables in professional wrestling history, Mr. Jim Neidhart, of course, brother-in-law to Bret the Hitman Hart, WWE Hall of Famer. When he passed, you don't really have much of a connection to Jim, right? Because obviously you didn't grow up with Jim. I mean, you only known him really as Natty's dad, right?
Yeah, I think when it first happened, I was thinking that everybody probably took it harder than expected because they weren't seeing the wrestling side to him anymore. I mean, lately when we've been seeing him, it's been on, what's that, the Divas show?
Total Divas,
Total Divas. So, like, you only saw him as Natty's dad. A cool, laid-back guy who, you know, is always trying to do his old man things, you know what I mean? Mow the lawn,
hey, it's a man's man.
Have his barbecues,
shot put
you
champion.
know, have his pets, have his cats, you know what I mean? Yes. And, you know, her checking up on her folks and them being a close-knit family. So
I can't imagine what she's going through. She's really close to her dad.
Then it makes you think about her because she's been always so sweet and so loving to them. If they've been the same way back, you get a glimpse of how caring that family is. And now all of a sudden this has happened so suddenly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she's been having some momentum and some push, and she's getting more comfortable out there. And now all of a sudden she has to take another break. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be tough to come back in. And does she continue living up that name and that, you know, the Hart family, knowing that has now passed away?
I think she's always kind of taken the mantle on her shoulder. I think she always considered herself third generation, whether it be female or male. Like, that's not even a part of the conversation for her. In her mind, she's a Hart, and she's got the whole legacy on her shoulders.
But now her heart is gone.
Yeah, her heart is gone. Yeah, exactly. She was extreme. I mean, you want to talk about daddy's girl? That was Natalya is the definition. I can't even begin to imagine, and not to take anything away from Natalya, but I can't imagine what's going through Bret Hart's mind right now, because there was a picture I mentioned at the beginning of this. Jim was an original member of the Hart Foundation. It was originally a team. It was Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. They were a team together. But as storylines had progressed, as time had progressed, they had started bringing in actual family members. Owen Hart, who was an actual son of Stu Hart, British the Bulldog, who was married to a Hart. And then, of course, Brian Pillman, the wild card, the loose cannon of the group. To me, one of the greatest stables of all time. And I think people look at him... look at the group as one of the great groups. When you talk about just overall factions, they were a family. The chemistry was there, and you got to feel for Bret. There was a picture posted earlier today, as a matter of fact, of an old picture from like '97, where all 5 members of the Hart Foundation, they got their hands raised in the air or whatever, and the only part of the picture that's in color is Bret, and the rest of the photo is like in black and white, which illustrates the fact that of those 5 guys, Bret is the only one alive. And it's hard to imagine that all of these guys were in their physical prime 15, 20 years ago. And to see, like, all these... I mean, we had drugs, alcohol, a list of all these bad things that have happened. Owen Hart obviously died in a tragic accident live on pay-per-view. And to hear that Jim Neidhart passed away based on an accident. The cause of death for Jim Neidhart was an injury to the back of the head. He slipped at home. It caused convulsions and seizures in his head, and he passed away in the hospital. To just be Bret Hart for a second, because he grew up in a family of like 13 kids, and just one by one we're just striking down the line. A few months ago, maybe a year, I'm not sure, but I think it was a few months ago, Bruce Hart died, and we're just losing Harts one right after the other. And the one guy who you would think would be the most beat up of the group for wrestling for as long as he did, and having his career ended by a brain injury and then the car crash. The one guy who's taken the most damage is alive and doing somewhat well, whilst everyone else around him is just, I don't want to say dropping like flies. I don't want to be insensitive, but like, for him to be the last Hart right now is amazing. And I can't even imagine just how many Harts are even left right now.
I think God is saying, the Hall of Famer has to live.
Yeah, they got called home. They got called home and said, we haven't given Brett the Iggy yet. We still need you out there to lead this whole thing, man. So condolences out to the Hart family. I haven't done it in a while. With Vader, when Vader passed, I did do something. I opened up the show with Vader's theme because I had some computer issues and I couldn't get a hold of my 10-bell salute. This episode will end with the 10-bell salute. It will not end with my son's audio. When we cut to the end of this, we will be doing the 10-bell salute. So condolences out to the Hart family, and I wish them the best. And for everybody out there who knows Jim Hart, I'm going to share one last memory because I don't think it gets talked about enough. I still say one of the greatest non-Big Four pay-per-views of all time. Not a Royal Rumble, not a WrestleMania, not a Survivor Series, not a SummerSlam. July 1997, the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view. It was the one time it was ever done, Canadian Stampede. It was in Calgary, home of the Hart family. It was a 10-man tag. It was Team USA versus Team Canada. Obviously, Team Canada being represented by the Harts, and Team America, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ken Shamrock, the Legion of Doom, and Goldust, for some oddball reason, were all these characters. And you want to talk about rock star famous, just like you can feel the building, which doesn't happen anymore. You and I have been to several buildings, and it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Just the Americans here in America are baby faces, and the Canadians were heel. But now we're in Calgary, so the roles had reversed. So the baby faces came out first, but were treated as heels. And when you talk about, and this was the first time and the only time ever where the Hart Foundation didn't come out as a group. They came out one by one by their individual themes, and then Brett came out. And when Brett came out, I could have sworn that an actual tear in the fabric of the province of Alberta had taken place. It had cracked in half when Bret Hart came out through the curtain. And then we get the big win. Owen Hart, the baby of the family, gets the pin on Big Bad Stone Cold, and everyone goes crazy. That was Natalia's debut in the WWE. Little baby Teddy Hart coming into the ring. One of the greatest pay-per-views I've ever seen. And to be a part of that family and to now know that half of the people that were in that ring that day are no longer on this earth is just scary to me. It's making me feel my age. I was like, oh, man, I could be next. It can happen at any moment, babe. What you gonna do? It can happen to me at any moment.
No, it's not.
Or you're not. It's not part of the plan, right?
Not my plan.
You and I have been spending some time. We've been spending some time together recently. Our jobs have become a little bit more schedule light for the past few weeks. We do our thing, and we got a chance to indulge in something recently that we didn't anticipate in indulging in. You saw a trailer for a particular show, and it piqued your interest, and you put it on literally just to see what it was about,
so
right?
So I saw a trailer for something.
Right.
And I was like, this looks really stupid. Like, it looked stupid when I saw the trailer.
Your impression of it was,
and I was like, that looks horrible. But I want to see the train wreck anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, let me give the pilot a chance. Just to see how shitty it was. A conversation starter with you. Maybe over some lunch. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I just want to see how stupid it is. And then I played the first episode and I was like, so much is happening. What the fuck is going to happen next? I was like, I just feel like they gave me a whole season in one episode. What could possibly happen next? Yeah. And it just, it was one train wreck after another, after another, after another. And we could just not stop watching that. Even you watched the train wreck.
I only caught a part of the first episode. And then I was watching it with you. We got into the second episode. And you went to go do something. And I actually went back to the beginning that I had missed from the first episode, just so I was up to date, and we ended up binging the whole fucking thing,
the whole season, and then it left us off. I was like, I wonder what the next episode is, and then it finished, and then it was like, oh, wait for season 2. I was like, that wasn't the fucking last episode.
We've kept them in suspense long enough. What is the name of the show that we binged?
The name of the show is Insatiable, and it's a new Netflix show that just came out. However, when it first came out, there was a lot of mixed reviews on it. Like, a lot of people did not even before it came out, people did not give it a shot. I mean, it was considered...
Before you read that, could you at least tell the audience what the show is about first?
Okay, so the show is about a girl in the South who is a fat girl, essentially. And clearly, if you have some weight in today's society, you know, you will be the target of some bullying. So the girl was the target of bullying clearly every day, and it paid a toll. And, you know, one day in front of a gas station store, she's binging on some chocolate. You know what I mean? Stressed out about her day, binge eating, and some homeless dude comes up to her and, you know, he wants a snack too. He's like, "Can I have a bit of your chocolate?" She's like, "No." And all of a sudden he went to reach for her chocolate and she punched the dude. And the homeless guy was like, "You know what? Fuck you." And he punched her back. And he broke her jaw. Yeah, he snuffed her right in the face. He broke her jaw where she couldn't eat. And due to the lack of eating, she then lost a whole bunch of weight.
She couldn't eat solids. It was like a juice diet.
And instead of going from like geek to hot, it went from fat to hot. You know what I mean? And she became a hottie. I mean, that was the whole focus. She became hot now. She didn't know what to do with her hotness. Yeah. The only way to get back at people... Exactly. The only way to get back at people was to do pageants and win a pageant and show how great she was. And she has moved beyond the image of Fatty Patty. Yeah. But, I mean, just the trailer alone, people were trying to have it petitioned to actually not actually air. Yeah. On the air date. They were like, "No, this is insensitive to people who are fat.
Everything is fucking insensitive.
Insensitive to people who have been raped. This is insensitive to homosexuals and bisexuals and gays like they went out of lesbians and black people. It's stereotypical. It does not represent teenagers well. Netflix doesn't know anything about teenagers. This show clearly shows it." And it was just supposed
teenagers
to be
don't
like,
know about teenagers.
Like the best way I can explain it is like I think you said it the other day. It's like an English version of a Spanish novela. A Spanish novela like exaggerates everything, and this show exaggerates everything.
It takes every topic you can think of and goes way too beyond. Fucking far with it.
Goes way too far with it. And I don't know how many blackmail deals occurred in the 10-episode deal.
It was 12 episodes.
12,
and blackmail is like the 13th problem on the list. I mean, we've got bisexuality, homosexuality, rape, molestation, interracial dating, all kinds of just anything you can fucking think of.
Kidnapping.
Death, this is one of the most diverse casts of all time. There's Asians, there's blacks, there's whites,
possession,
there's
demons.
There's there's Ouija board, there's possessions, there's an exorcism in this shit.
No. There's religion. There's a baptism.
John Lovitz is in here for some reason.
There's a Godfather.
They go through the process of learning how to
theft.
There's this thing attacks religion. It attacks eating disorders. It's just
crazy.
Everything. Pick a fucking topic that pisses people off online. Throw a dart, and you're gonna find something on this show that will piss you off about it. Yeah. To be honest with you, all the criticism that you've been telling me about, it's kind of the reason why I like the show.
I know. I was watching it and I was just like, no, she did not refer to her vagina as a hoo-hoo or a hoo-ha or like I was just
the older woman fucking the kid?
Oh, statutory rape.
Statutory rape, right.
Did you sleep with Regina just to get back at me? Why would the son fuck a older woman just to get back at dad? And why is dad just thinking about himself and not about his son? I mean, and the fact that the father is bisexual and he's like, I can't be bisexual. There's no such thing as bisexual. What world are you living in?
The father goes from because
being straight as fuck and having sex in the kitchen, and then the son overhears you.
Yeah, when you meet the father, when you meet the star, the guy. He comes off. You made the best comparison. The Chrissies on USA Network. He comes off so gay, but he's the straightest guy ever.
In the beginning, or so we thought.
In the beginning, right. And he literally has every hot woman on this show fighting over him. Mm-hmm. Like, he's the gayest person on the show, but he's got all the women coming after him. And he went from super straight to a little confused to full-on gay because he slept with the guy, to bisexual, to polynormous or whatever, trying to get the relationship with it. And then I guess we'll find out in season 2, I should say. If
who he chooses.
Does
he choose to live the straight life, the gay life?
I don't want to give away too much.
He can't have both.
Can't have both. I don't know how much longer this show is going to last on Netflix, so I'm really afraid of spoilers here, because I don't think a lot of people are having to go. I really do believe this show is going to scare a lot of people away.
How big is he that both his wife and the gay guy want him for themselves and don't want to share?
And we're happy. Like, he was able to satisfy both of them by the end of that. It's like, no wonder why everybody was fighting over him. He is a stallion.
Yeah, and
first of all, folks, I forgot to mention. I should have mentioned at the beginning. Alyssa Milano. There you go. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
She's the mom.
She's the mom.
She's Fatty Patty's mom.
No, she's not Fatty Patty's mom. That's a whole nother bag of shit. The mother from the other side. Jesus Christ. And her lesbian friend, who's not really a lesbian, but kind of is a lesbian, almost certainly isn't almost.
No, her best friend is a lesbian.
She didn't agree to that yet.
But at first, she thought, I'm not a lesbian. I think I only liked one particular girl.
I hope talking in riddles is making people go,
it went from just liking her best friend to, maybe I like another girl because the girl likes me. Let me give it a shot.
So crazy. And all the beauty queens here are black.
But then that's an interracial lesbian relationship. And one thing people were saying is that the woman was an overweight black woman. And it's directed by a white director. And the rap that she did for the pageant, again, an overweight black lesbian in a Jesus pageant.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the pageant was about Jesus.
You know, Jesus said only man and woman, but she comes out and she's like, I'm a lesbian, but yet they still allow her.
Which was the next thing I was going to say.
But they almost didn't allow the girl who he thought was possessed. Apparently, you can't have a possessed contestant, but you can have an overweight black lesbian.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We know where the line is
as long as she'll rap at the beginning to get people excited about your pageant.
Putting this together in my head, the show takes place in Georgia, and all of the successful people on the show, the only people on this show with no real vices, are the black people. The doctor, remember the really like successful doctor, the gay guy's wife, black. Oh. The 2 pageant winners, black. Like, even the lesbian, the one you just brought up, she has literally there's nothing.
No, what do you mean no vices? Hold up.
Magnolia has a drinking problem
and a drug problem.
Well, the drug wasn't really her thing. The drug came after.
So drinking and drugs. Mom, you say no vices, but mom is never home.
That's not a vice.
She apparently
she's working.
She is a working mom that
high
loves
level
her children, and misses her children, but misses work at the same time.
Has
when
no
she's
clue
with her
that
children.
her husband is.
Has no clue that her husband is gay.
Super.
And that the daughter is drinking
ultra
and doing
mega
drugs. Gay. So she's off helping children in some poverty-stricken place, and we haven't heard from her in forever. She was in like 2 episodes, and she was gone.
This is the first show I ever saw where a gay guy went to a gay club, and he was the most uncomfortable person in the place.
Because he was still deciding whether or not he was gay or not.
He was undecided.
You know?
I hope talking in riddles right now is getting people curious.
But I mean,
I really do think people should see this.
Do you hear everything that we're saying?
It
is like an English over-exaggerated Spanish novela. Okay, the only thing they haven't done is incest.
Oh, they left room somewhere.
Jesus
they left
Christ.
room somewhere.
Okay. Right? Oh, wait, I forgot. They have adoption.
Oh, the most country backwards
foster
Asian
care
chick of all time.
They have like they have stalkers.
Yeah.
They have.
Well, they don't have a stalker anymore.
Like they touch upon so many issues.
Everything, and it's not subtle.
It's none of it out there and over exaggerated. But again, you just can't stop watching. You have to see what the hell happens next.
Yeah. I like their show a lot.
And let's see what season 2 has in store for us. But it's been pretty nuts, insatiable. And yeah, so that was our little guilty pleasure for maybe like a day and a half.
Yeah. It was a little nuts. It gets a little crazy. But I'm going to use all that right now to turn it back into a pro wrestling angle and let you all know that once again, as crazy and as nuts as that show is, we had the return of a lunatic on Monday. I had to talk about this for several reasons. Because we did a whole SummerSlam roundtable just the other day, which you guys will be able to hear once again this Sunday, right before SummerSlam. You'll get your fix and be able to catch what we all had to say about this. And we did a whole roundtable thing. And spoiler for this upcoming episode, the one thing you will not hear is the name Dean Ambrose. And the reason why it didn't come up is because I think internally, all of us had kind of forgotten that this guy hasn't done shit since about November, right after Survivor Series, because he was a part of that big opening match, and then he had the big shoulder injury, and that's been it. From what I understand, his injury wasn't that extensive. He just literally took the time off because he hasn't been off the road in almost 6 years since he signed with the WWE. He's been nonstop. He says it himself. He's the Iron Man of the WWE. This guy is an unbreakable force. You got to see his return today, actually. You didn't get to see it live on Monday. You had a complaint. What was the complaint you had when you saw the return?
Several things that we noticed. I noticed one thing and you noticed the other. So what was the first thing that you noticed before I say what I noticed?
I noticed when he came through the curtain, the brother was looking great. He's on that Alberto Del Rio diet. He came back from his injury. He's on that juice program. No allegations. I'm just saying, the brother looked jacked.
I mean,
to the gills.
He did look
a true
jacked.
Heavyweight. This guy
and
was
you
a
would
heavyweight.
think, as a female, the first thing I would notice
was said jackness.
Would be said jackness, but no.
No, you
the
had a different
first thing
discovery.
I noticed when he came out, I was looking at him and I was like, why does he look more brutish than usual?
Ooh, brutish.
And I'm looking. I was like, why does he look more darker? Why does he look more sinister? And I was like, what the fuck is it about his brow and his is it furrow or a burrow? Like I was looking, I was like, what the fuck is up with his face? And I was like, could it be the haircut? And I'm like, no, there's something off with him. Motherfucker has no eyebrows no more.
He's got no brows.
Did like during his break, did he decide, you know what, I'm gonna have a spa day and get that black wax everybody's doing and have a little mishap and then say, well, if one is fucking waxed off, I might as well get the other one done. Like it reminded me of the scene of Jason Bateman when they do his eyebrows and she shaved it off by accident and then he's like, well, do the other one.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was crazy, but I mean, he had no eyebrows, and I don't know if I can get past the eyebrows. I don't think anybody can get past no eyebrows.
That's a hard one to pull off.
You know what I mean? Eyebrows. And the thing is that if he had no eyebrows, he should have kept his hair to hide the eyebrows, unless the haircut happened before the eyebrow situation.
You're inventing an eyebrow situation. We don't know if eyebrow gate took place.
There has to be.
No, listen. Okay, wait. I think I have two possibilities for the eyebrows. One, perhaps I'm just spitballing here. He has blonde eyebrows. Maybe that's why we couldn't see them too well. I noticed with the cut, his natural root or whatever, like close to the head haircut, a little lighter than usual. I think maybe that might have something to do with it. The second is perhaps he didn't remove the eyebrow altogether. Perhaps in their attempt, much like your Jason Bateman situation, to cut off his said bangs, they cut a little too shallow here. And maybe not. There is some eyebrow there. It was just very thin, very small, follicle-like eyebrows hanging from, hanging on his brow there. I don't think he's completely sans eyebrow. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Honey, I think that you need to.
You gotta see the footage again.
Double check. And take advantage of the DVR that we have.
Yes.
And use the fast forward button and play it in slow motion.
Yes.
And see the fact that he has no eyebrows. I mean, you see, it's like you see the shape of where the eyebrow should be.
Yes.
But it's not there.
Well, maybe another reason, let's say he didn't have any eyebrows. Perhaps that wasn't the original plan. Maybe there was an eyebrow situation. And normally he would get that touched up.
But you see, if there was an eyebrow situation,
yes,
I need him to discuss it so that
You need him to address his eyebrows in a promo?
To address his eyebrow situation.
Well, you know who I blame for this.
Okay.
I blame Renee Young. She was so obsessed with the idea that she could be making history and doing commentary. She was out at the table. And her husband was in the back, lost. He has no idea what's going on. He was probably so stressed out, he just X'd him out right in the back. Because he was so nervous about his debut. He didn't have his wife to calm him down.
Clean and smooth.
It was intentional is what you're saying.
Okay.
They're purposely gone.
It's not only did the eyebrows come off, but he maintained it so that when he made his debut, it was still smooth and there was no 5 o'clock eyebrow shadow.
That's that's the wrong time of day.
There was
5 o'clock is down here, dude. An eyebrow would be like a 2 o'clock or a 1 o'clock shadow.
You know what I mean? There was no shadow. There was no
silhouette
no silhouette. No little hairs coming out trying to grow through. It was nice and smooth. He kept up the eyebrow debacle. He maintained it.
So somewhere on this day off, he goes, I got to change my look.
No. Somewhere during his mishap, they fucked up. He looked at it and said, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make everybody want to go out there and do the no eyebrow look.
Oh, my God. I'm going to pull this off.
Exactly.
What would make me look more like a lunatic than not having eyebrows? So you know what we do? The eyebrows. It's all in the eyebrows.
Exactly. Look, if this guy's going to come out and be the Scottish psychopath,
yeah.
Psychopath and lunatic are synonyms. I have to make myself appear more badass than the Scottish psychopath.
He calls himself a psychopath. Does he have no eyebrows? I've got no eyebrows.
Exactly. Look,
that's lunacy.
Exactly. I'm such a lunatic. I shaved them off.
I took the dearest part of my face and removed it. That's how crazy I am. You're lucky I've got a nose still. He should have removed the body part. I'm just saying. That's what real lunatics do.
Those eyebrows. I can't.
Did you have a problem with him returning on Raw?
That. No.
I mean, all this time gone, the return comes on Raw?
No, because the
return is coming.
No, because he needs to come back, and he needs somebody to come back with and sort of give him the rub again. And
Dean doesn't need a rub.
Bring back the partnership and the back and forth witty banter they were having. You know what I mean? To make it an easy transition. And then he can go off on his own again. They just want to make it an easy transition.
So you think they're going to stay a team, or you think he's going to turn?
No.
Everyone's predicting the turn. I'm predicting a turn.
It's an easy transition. As Seth Rollins said, he's only going to be in his corner. It's not really a tag team match. He's just in his corner.
Yeah, so it's a singles match for the Intercontinental Championship.
He's not going to do much unless
he's just going to betray Seth.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
It's going to cost him the matchup.
I don't think
Here's
so.
Here's where I think the story goes, and here's where I would take this if I was turning him heel.
I'm so sorry.
What?
It just dawned on me.
Uh-oh.
I mean that he had no eyebrows.
Lightning bolt.
While Dolph Ziggler had the worst hair day ever.
You know what?
What is up with the nappy curly roots that he has?
You know what his hair reminds me of? You remember the old SmackDown games where they wanted to give Jericho like straight hair, but they didn't really have the graphics to make it wavy, so it just stayed in that hardened position no matter where he turned his head.
It's a terrible flat iron. It's like
it's a rush job.
It's like he did it himself.
Oh wow, that's not good.
It's like as if he was waiting online for all the girls to get their hair did, and he was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna do it myself. How hard can it be? Clearly, it's hard to do.
You know what I think he did? I think he got it done. But the minute he got it done, it was annoying to him.
No,
and he pinned it up.
I
think he sweated out in the ponytail. He
sweated it out, so everything near his roots is just curled up.
Yeah.
But then he wanted to keep everything flat, so he flat ironed it. But then he does the thing of what every girl does and every girl shouldn't do after you do your hair is you tuck it behind your ear. Tuck it behind your ear. Now that gets all sweaty, and now you have this weird indent around the ear. But yet he was trying to create bangs. He parted the front in two, so it's straight in the front, around his ear, and then straight out behind his ear. It was a weird, fucked up mess.
Listen.
And I don't want to have to turn Ziggler into a negative.
Ziggler is already a verb.
I don't know if you guys know. I turned Ziggler into a verb. Any guy that over-exaggerates a move or oversells a move to make the other guy look good and make a move look devastating, you are Ziggling, because that's what Ziggler does all the time.
He done ziggles.
He Zigglers all the time. But I don't want to have to turn his name into a negative. Yes. I don't want to have to turn a bad hair day, into a Ziggler. Like, if you can't do your hair right, I don't want you to have Zigglered your hair.
How's my hair look? Ooh, that hairdresser Zigglered you. Look at that.
Like, for real. I don't want to have to turn him into a negative.
We don't have to get to that point.
I hope not. I hope he gets his act together and realizes he needs to keep that shit curly.
Here's my prediction for the heel turn. And I don't even know if they're going to do it this way because I think it's too in depth. I think it's too far out of the box. But I just think it would be an interesting story to tell, because when you think about it, Dean Ambrose was signed 6 years ago, and so there's been a 6-year career. Once again, the Iron Man makes every show, double shots, yada yada yada. He's only been injured twice in his career. This being the most serious of the two. The first one wasn't really that serious. He was hurt. It took him out of the ring. That's where we got the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins team for a while, and then Dean was just kind of talking. It wasn't a serious injury, but he was hurt. And then, of course, there's the shoulder thing. He's only been injured twice in his entire career. The first time he was injured, he was with the Shield, the old version of the Shield. They made do. Then he broke up with the Shield, did his own single thing for like 4 years. Ran hard. Didn't get hurt once. He's back with the Shield. And it wasn't but 2 months, and he got hurt. So the only 2 times he has ever been hurt is whilst he was supposed to have 2 guys watching his back. Those were the only times he was hurt. When he was worried about just Dean Ambrose, he was WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, United States, other stuff. When he was a part of a group, that's usually when he gets hurt. And when he gets hurt, the other 2 guys always manage to be in just the right spot at just the right time to capitalize on said injury. First time Dean was hurt, Roman and Seth became tag team champions. Dean gets hurt again. Shield breaks up because they can't do the Shield without the 3rd member. They tried, dear Lord. And then Roman back into the Universal title picture. Seth into the Intercontinental Championship situation. Both of them are now lead characters in those 2 title pictures, and Dean once again on the back burner. That would lead to some tension, I would fucking believe, right? Because now Dean's healthy. Dean's ready to go. Everyone knows now that he's ready to go. That's common knowledge. He hasn't been hurt the entire time he's been out. And the only time that Seth calls him is when he needs him to back him in a feud with Ziggler and McIntyre. That would lead to some tensions, I would believe, even to a lunatic.
I don't think it would lead into
Why not? But he's eating off your table. He's cashing in off of your fucking injury.
But if they're both mooching off of his injury, but who do you go after first? The person with the bigger belt or the person after the smaller belt? You would think bigger belt, but he doesn't go after the bigger belt because the bigger belt's already in the bigger storyline. So he goes after the
if I was Dean, I wouldn't go after the Universal Championship. I wouldn't go after Roman first because I need Roman to win that belt first. I can't become the Universal Champion if the Universal Championship is elsewhere. I need that belt to be here. And the only way currently for that to happen, is if Roman Reigns wins. Then that belt now comes back to Raw full time. So I'll get to that when I get to that. If I can't get to the Universal title because it's a crapshoot how that's going to end up, I know the Intercontinental title is going to be here. That's not going anywhere. Regardless of who wins between Dolph and Seth, it'll be on Raw tomorrow. The Universal Championship is if I attack Roman now, that weakens him for Brock and that belt goes away.
So you're calling...
I think he goes after Seth whether he wins the title or not. I actually predict Dean stops Seth from winning that championship just to kind of get that tension off with Seth. Once Roman takes care of his business, believe me, I definitely see Dean going in that direction.
Interesting.
This is all new information, by the way. We filmed this roundtable for SummerSlam a few days ago. We filmed it before this current Raw and SmackDown because the reason why we were comfortable filming it is because it already had 11, 12 matches fucking booked already.
Yes, but I did tell you that was going to be 7 hours, and you're like, but it's always 7 hours.
It is always 7 hours.
And I was like, no, it's going to feel like a long-ass fucking show.
It's 7 hours.
But they also added another match that you didn't talk about on the roundtable.
Because they added
mixed tag.
Yeah, they added a mixed tag this week. So for those of you listening to the roundtable, we did not discuss it because it was a late edition. And the reason why we didn't discuss it is because of that. And because, to be honest with you, I don't really think there's much to discuss. There's almost no build-up to that match at all whatsoever. They're pinning this mixed tag off of one match that took place.
So it's a pre-show.
Last week. Because Rusev and Lana are as over as they are, maybe not pre-show.
Second match?
Maybe the first or second match.
Not first.
Well,
a belt is going to go first,
okay,
and then you need a slowdown.
I'm thinking Shinsuke Jeff Hardy opens that show.
That's cool.
I think I predicted on the roundtable, too.
That's cool.
But that's
a good start.
The question isn't who starts. The question is who goes last.
Ooh, for Jeff to come out with that. Ooh.
No, Jeff's not coming out with anything special. No one's doing anything special for this show. Because they don't treat it like that anymore. They don't treat it. They don't treat.
No, what they do for SummerSlam is everybody gets new outfits.
Yeah, that's the best we get. Because
remember, for our SummerSlam, the color of our SummerSlam was all white. If you wore white that night, you were getting the belt.
Yeah, and they all did.
Okay.
Seth wore that white Power Ranger, the White Ranger outfit, and became a double champion New Day.
No, it was white and gold, I think.
Yeah, it was white and gold. Remember, Bayley had it the night before.
Everybody who wore white and gold. So I wonder who's coming out with a new outfit. If you have a new outfit, a new jacket,
I think it's so...
You are going over.
It's one of the reasons why I don't like repeat venues. I don't like when they redo the same show in the same venue every year. It's so stupid because everyone gets comfortable. Everyone's comfortable. I'm not saying that they're lazy. I'm just saying that they don't feel it's special. So we don't feel that it's special. They're building it like the WrestleMania of the summer. But I don't have a WrestleMania vibe going right now. Like for WrestleMania, like I start getting the blood pumps different around January, February. Like I start itching. I'm like, all right, let's get to the big show. I don't feel like that for SummerSlam anymore. I used to feel like that for SummerSlam back in the day. Because we would get not just new outfits, we'd get new entrances, we'd get new music, we'd get new entrance ways. They'd get more creative with the way that the set design would look and all these different things.
But you can't do you can't do stuff like that in Barclay. It's not like a stadium.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny because I hear fans all the time. They're like, "Oh, there's just New York bias. There's East Coast bias because we are getting SummerSlam, and of course, WrestleMania is going to be next door in Jersey here, and everyone's just like, oh, all the good shows are going to be in fucking on the East Coast. Hey, listen, the WWE is in the East Coast. They're here. This is where their headquarters is. Of course, they're going to spend more time.
Yeah,
over here.
Not only that, but they have Connecticut, they have New York, they have the Philadelphia fans. You know what I mean? They have New Jersey fans. I mean, there's I mean, not to say that California doesn't have its fans. You know what I mean?
California's got its own problems. What California we're talking about? It's like 3 Californias now.
You know,
soon, I think. I think there's a vote taking place. It's like the New California, North California, South California. Oh, man. That's a big-ass state, by the way, California. It's my second, by the way, there's more people downloading me in California than there are in New Jersey. So... I like California.
WA, keep doing your thing, right? It's PWA? Is that what it's called?
PWG. You're confusing.
Sorry.
My thing was PWA up in Connecticut.
All these three-letter companies.
Yeah. Well, they're all, for the most part, three letters. PWG actually stepped up their game. They used to run out of this little garage area or whatever. They got big there. The DVD sells through the roof. They're now in this nice little theater hall. It's beautiful. If you see it, it's like made for TV. It's perfect. I all of a sudden became a PWG fan, like out of nowhere. I was just like, the presentation. Because I didn't like the presentation before. It was like a literal like backyard entrance. It was like a curtain on a string, and like there's no guardrails. It's like the fans are like right there in the aisleway. There's no real aisleway, actually. Like the fans, they respect the company. So their fans like move out of the way for entrances, but then they like collapse onto each other when the match is on. And then it's like an unwritten rule. Like, you just move out of the way. There's no guardrails, so, like, fans are, like, beating on the ring and shit. It's just, like, it's chaos. Like, there's no, like, for the most part, I don't think I've ever seen seats. It's like you buy a ticket to be part of, like, the Thunderdome. Like, you may not make it out of this sumbitch alive. Like, you have to sign a waiver to go see a PWG show. Because they go off the ropes into the crowd and all kinds of crazy shit. But I've never been huge on PWG, but the product recently has been great. It's been really good. I didn't like stupid. They used to do a lot of stupid shit. Like the hand grenade thing came from there. That was the place. That was the company. My God, I wanted to fucking cry. That was the company that made Jushin Thunder Liger stick a thumb up Tommaso Ciampa's butt. Yeah, they did a whole like conga line of thumb and butts. It was like the dumbest. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. But let's not talk about PWG right now.
It's an audience member can be like, "Am I bisexual?"
We're gonna take a quick second to talk about our next segment, okay? We have to talk about some weird shit. It was definitely one of the segments, like one of the two segments that I came up with recently. I opened the show with it last time. I'm gonna do it a little deeper into the show. Mrs. O, you're going to have to help me with this out. This segment is called "What the Fuck Is Happening?"
Oh man, that's deep.
What in the fuck is he doing?
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Okay, what the fuck is happening? Mrs. O, what is the story that you found here that is causing all this hubbub? What's going on?
No, it's just I notice every time I scroll through Facebook, there are always memes and articles where I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this world? Like, what the fuck is going on with these headlines? And then and the thing is that you do this too. As soon as you see some weird fucked up shit, you think in your mind, I need to read all the weird fucked up comments that go below the weird fucked up shit.
That's how this segment started.
So then you start reading all the comments, and the comments are just as fucked up as the original.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like, what the fuck squared? You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
And
mathematically, that checks out.
Yeah. I was just looking at this meme, and I saw the top part, and I go, okay. Then I saw somebody's comment, and I went, really? And I was like, what the fuck is going on with the world? And then you wanted me to be Mr. Investigator, and
I just wanted a source.
You need to have a solid source for your shit.
So people can fucking find it.
So then I had to go searching for some solid shit.
Memes are not news.
But if there was ever going to be a solid source, I think the New York Times is a solid source. Okay, it's not like Viz or Vox or some weird .com that you don't know about. You know, so I was going through my Facebook, and there was a meme, and it says women in Nairobi found immune to HIV, and I'm like, what the fuck? But then the comment underneath it was, this is an amazing discovery. But now I pose a question. Clears throat. No lie. The comment has in parentheses, clears throat.
Asterisks.
How would they know they're immune unless they were trying to purposely give them HIV? And I'm like, are they saying this is a modern day Tuskegee?
I have an actual drop for that. So say that last part again.
How would they know they're immune unless they were trying to purposely give them HIV?
Yes, I have a drop for that. That is a crazy response to it, because had you not told me that, had you not told me that was the response, that would have been my response. Because it's literally the first thing that came to mind.
You see? But then I had to dig deeper, okay, and be Nancy Drew here.
Oh,
and I found the New York Times, and it says, the new AIDS mystery.
Also clear his throat.
Again, this headline also solves the guy's comment. You know, it's not people giving people HIV. It's prostitutes who have remained immune. So the prostitutes are risking their vaginas and lives.
They're pulling it all out there.
On a daily basis, according to the article.
Science.
4 out of the 5 guys they have sex with daily, they'll use a condom, but they like to risk it all on the 5th guy and decide, you know what, I'm gonna spread my legs and not use a condom for you, buddy, just in case you are HIV. I don't give a fuck because I've been fucking guys with HIV and I haven't gotten shit so far. So apparently these women are like rolling the dice at least 70 to 90 times a year. And some of them have gotten infected, but then it like clears up the more times they have sex afterwards.
She said that with her hands going clear. I don't even have to say what you did. I have
my hands just like
cleared
starting from my vagina going outward, like clearing up. Okay,
oh my God.
Like clearing up after a while, and they're thinking that they're building up an immunity to the HIV. The more times they have sex. So they're doing this whole study on it, and then they're noticing that the moment the prostitutes stop having sex, and they take a momentary break for a couple of months,
oh my God,
the HIV comes back.
It fires up the comeback.
It comes back. It's like the only way to stop the HIV is to have more sex.
Oh my God! It's like a never-ending cycle.
So the people who are doing more studies or who are trying to find a vaccine or a cure is saying this is vital information. We need to use this.
They're trying to find a coochie cure.
Yes, and the only way to do it is with more sex.
There's only one way to solve this: more intercourse.
More intercourse. So, everyone out there, when we do find a cure, please take a moment to thank those prostitutes.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. How did they
explain, helped our cause.
How did they explain to the 5th guy? Because you're in the room with a bunch of guys, and you're each going into the room to fuck this lady. And the first guy went in and put on a condom. The second guy who went in put on a condom. Third guy did. Fourth guy did. When the 5th guy went to go put his condom on, the doctor said, "Hold up. Not you, buddy.
No, the doctor didn't say that.
You win the prize. Raw skins for you, my friend."
You know, but I mean, like,
well, how did they notify him to not put the condom on? Then?
No, the women are just saying that there are guys that
he doesn't know he's 5th. He doesn't know he's 5th. He doesn't know he's the 5th dick of the day.
It's not like they're keeping track of who's 5th. The women are just saying that they normally have sex on a basis 5 times a day.
Playing coochie roulette.
And it could be the first guy, the second guy, the third guy, but with one of the 5, they don't use a condom for. So whoever wants it raw, dog, I'm sorry, but you either have cancer or about to get cancer.
Is that a number that was agreed upon all the hoes, where it's just like, hey, ladies, that 5th guy, take a chance.
Is a killer.
That 5th guy could be a killer. Yes, it could be.
But I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? And when you delve deeper, you're even more like, what the fuck? But this is what's happening in the world.
Well, hopefully that 5th guy didn't delve that deep, because he would have found the HIV jackpot.
Oh my God.
So one of the crazier stories that I told on this show was the lady who threw crap at Tim Hortons. And then the first time I did this segment, which was a while ago, because I've had nothing but guests on for forever, there was a gentleman who went to Planet Fitness and did a workout completely nude, freaked everybody out, and attacked the cops and whatnot. It was a hell of a day. And so my third segment here of what the fuck is happening involves prostitutes and HIV. And I'd like to thank Mrs. O for bringing that across the table for us here and educating all of us on where is Niobe.
You know where that felt like for a second? You know how every time there's a guest on Ridiculousness and they have to bring a clip with them that they show at the end?
I felt like this is what that was.
I brought a clip today.
You brought a clip. And it involves...
You're welcome, fans. You're welcome.
It involves infected
and
coochie.
by the way, Niobe... Nairobi is in Africa.
It's in Africa. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus Christ. To that guy's comment, he was like, well, were they purposely trying to infect these women?
Clear throat.
Clear throat. I'm upset that he used parentheses. I'm more of
actually, I'm sorry.
It's an asterisk.
No. Yeah, it's the two little stars before and after.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say.
My apologies.
I'm more of an asterisk guy myself. I like to use the asterisks. I'm definitely that. That was definitely a what the fuck. I can't top that. I think the segment's dead. I don't think I'm gonna be able to top HIV infected prostitutes for another segment. Are you okay right now? Oh boy, HIV infected prostitutes. I don't know where to go from that. Oh, I know. Madison Square Garden. Let's talk about. She just made this weird face. Let's talk about.
Like, how can you segue from prostitutes to Madison Square Garden? The fact that there was prostitutes near Madison Square Garden, which is near Times Square, which you can get a $2 blowjob back in the day.
There you go, Pennsylvania Hotel. Hello. Anyway, you guys don't know about that if you're not from New York. You wouldn't know nothing about that. But let's segue into our top news story.
And now back to Action News 5. Our top story tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
So, everyone's been talking about it. I will also talk about it. But I will try my best to be positive about the situation. I will not lend any negativity to the situation at all whatsoever. I would like to start off this conversation.
Mrs. O rolls her eyes.
Yes. Asterisks. I would like to start off this conversation by saying congratulations to the folks over at Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling for, on paper, selling out Madison Square Garden. It's a big thing. I think they're the only company to ever do it that's not WWE. I can't recall any company coming into that building at all, let alone selling it out. Because, to be honest with you, the WWE at this point can't sell it out.
But you see, you can't say they are the first company besides WWE, and then in a second or two, reverse that comment.
Undo all that goodwill.
Undo what you just said.
I just have a problem accepting someone telling me that an event or a show is sold out. And yet, I could go to any website that exists on the internet and purchase a ticket to said event. Now, I've recently been lectured about the idea that the days of an old school sellout, you know, the old days when you used to have the ticket booth out and you sell all your tickets and you would literally have the sign up front, sold out. There's no tickets left. There's no way into the building. All the seats are sold, yada, yada, yada. That those days are over. That there's always a secondary market for pretty much anything. Anything that can be, you can sell a ticket to, that ticket is always, there's always a secondary price.
No, I see. I think you're having a problem with the fact that nowadays, in the current, on the internet, we now have online scalpers.
Yes.
StubHub and SeatGeek, you know what I mean? They're all online scalpers. Those are the people who go buy 10 tickets just to stand out front and sell it to you for a higher price. But in all actual reality, that place, because they bought those 10 tickets, if there was only 10 tickets and they bought all 10, technically that place is all sold out. And yes, you can buy the ticket from the scalper, but that still doesn't mean that place wasn't sold out.
Which is why I'm congratulating them.
Exactly, but you want to uncongratulate them.
Yes, because I have a bigger issue.
But your issue, okay, is the fact that they're saying what exactly? That they're sold out? Which is fact.
Right, it is fact. Paper. I don't have a problem with Ring of Honor or New Japan announcing a sellout. That's not where my problem is. My problem is the beating of the chest and the overall celebration amongst fans that the building is sold out because of that secondary market. So what happens is they sell the tickets, right? They're sold out. They officially, every seat that is available in Madison Square Garden has been purchased by someone, right? That's what made it a sellout. That's great. But a lot of those tickets, were purchased specifically
for resale.
For resale, right? Which means there isn't a warm body in that seat technically until someone comes onto the second market and buys that ticket. My problem with the fans boasting and going on and on about how the building is sold out, it's a sold out venue, is what happens is when you're trying to fill seats at Madison Square Garden, that means you're trying to also get the casual fan. It's not just about the hardcores. You're filling the world's most famous arena. You want to grab the casuals, okay? And the casual, if the casual hears the word sold out,
they're not going to go online.
They're not going to go online and look for a ticket. They just heard from a bunch of real fans, building is sold out. It's going to be filled to the rafters.
Real fan, okay. But a real fan will not tell the casual fan that it's sold out.
But they are.
No. A real fan will not say it's sold out unless they go online and see if they can actually purchase tickets like we did. We heard sold out. What did we do? Yeah, let's see if it's really sold out. And we went online.
We knew it wasn't really sold out.
And we looked it up to see if it was really sold out. But a real fan would do that. A casual fan would just take the TV and take
their word for
the print
it and go about their business.
For it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take the real fan's word for it. The real fan would have to do their digging and let them know, no, that's not really true. You could still get it here and here and here. You'll still be able to get some seats. Or I know somebody who already bought 5 tickets. They were looking to bring a group, but some people, decided not to go. They have a couple of tickets. I'll let you go.
Right, but the real fan is telling the casual that it's sold out. Yes, they are. Here's the example.
Don't know that.
Here's the example why. Here's the example of what I'm giving you.
No. Out there. I need you to post up this shit because apparently Orsini thinks uncensored means he knows all. Real fan, go out there and let me know if you are telling the casual fan. Okay, that you can't buy no more tickets.
They may not be doing it directly by simply going to your Facebook page and posting a status with the caps. So we sold the building out. New Japan Ring of Honor. We're sold out. Madison Square Garden.
That's a stupid fan. Right, that's not a real fan.
By posting that status, right? Let's say Tom and Brad. Brad's a real wrestling fan. He's obsessed. This is all he thinks about. This is all he talks about, right? He posts that status up. Tom is a casual. He wouldn't. But that's what I'm saying. People are. That's the problem.
But they're not the real fans.
No. That's the thing. No.
I think
there's a lot of casuals. There are casual fans. The real fans.
Real fans. We're real fans. And what did we do?
We check to see if the tickets were available.
Exactly.
Right. But there are others who will claim that they're even more fans than us. Okay, who are going out there saying and beating their chest and doing all these things.
They're stupid fans.
Okay, but you're calling them stupid fans. They're calling themselves real fans. That's why I go after these people. You're on my side then, because they're not real fans. Because real fans wouldn't let people on the outside bubble feel like they can't get in. Real fans would tell them, hey, we just sold this building out. This is going to be a hell of a fucking show. You should buy a ticket. That's not what they're doing. They're actually telling the casuals to fuck off. That's what I'm worried about. You can call it a sellout show, but we know for a fact those tickets are on the secondary market. If no one goes on StubHub and buys those tickets, that building is going to be empty. It doesn't matter if they sold those tickets. That's why I'm trying to tell people online, shut the fuck up. If you want to share or retweet New Japan or Ring of Honor's announcement and be proud of the fact that a Ring of Honor show who's been around for only about 12 years or 2002, about 16 years, and New Japan, who's been around for forever, but never really made any huge waves here in the States. That's 2 birds with 1 stone. 2 of the biggest promotions, not WWE, selling out one of the most famous arenas on the entire planet. Share that. Rejoice in that. Don't tell the other motherfuckers across the street to go fuck off. We're having arguments online. There are actual Ring of Honor fans who are claiming, okay, that the WWE and everybody who's a fan of the WWE is a piece of shit. There's nothing about... They are a Ring of Honor New Japan fans online saying the WWE fans are bullshit. They're not real fans. They're garbage. They're ruining the business. And it goes the other way. WWE fans looking at Ring of Honor saying, hey, you should thank us for selling that building out, because if you didn't do it for WrestleMania weekend, you would have never sold the building out, which The other argument actually works because a lot of the tickets that were sold for the Madison Square Garden show were sold on the Honor Club and Ring of Honor, their own exclusive fan base thing. So a lot of the Ring of Honor fans, real Ring of Honor fans, bought those tickets. So there's a lot of people online saying we could have sold those tickets regardless of the weekend based on what actually happened. But it's like this inner war between WWE fans, there's sports entertainment fans, and then there's real wrestling fans. And it's getting crazy between the two. Whereas, instead of thinking of this situation as what this could be, if you think about it on paper, one of the greatest wrestling weekends of all time. TakeOver, G1, WrestleMania, same fucking weekend. That's huge. But people aren't seeing it as an amazing weekend. They're seeing it as almost like a war. Where it's like we're planning. There's actually people saying that because WrestleMania is going to be at MetLife. That's like what, 75,000 people? And there are people who are going to G1 saying that G1 is going to be an even bigger show than WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to be trash. You're going to be out there for 7 or 8 hours fiddling your thumbs. You're going to be bored out of your mind. I'm going to G1. I'm going to have the greatest fucking time. Some of these people really talk to like when they walk in the door for Madison Square Garden for the G1, they will reach a climax, literally in their pants when they get there. That's why when you and I had talked about going to the show when they announced it, we said, okay, when those tickets go on sale, we're going to look up the tickets. And, of course, the day they went on sale, they were, quote-unquote, sold out. Fine, no problem. But neither one of us, and nobody that I spoke to who didn't have tickets, had any problem finding tickets. It was just that secondary market was very expensive.
Wasn't this the same situation with the All In show?
Yes, almost identical.
Where
it's actually they're still having that problem now. This is what my fear is, because they sold out in 26 minutes. That was the tweet. We sold out in 26 minutes, which on paper they sold out. I've got no problem with that. Congratulations, boys, you made your money. But I'm not worried about the money. As a fan, and I'm speaking to you guys as the fans, stop worrying about the money, because you're not getting a cut of that fucking money. What the fuck do you care? If the promotion made their money, since when? The same people who are happy that the seats were sold, even though they're on the secondary market, are the same people who get mad when McDonald's won't share profits with their employees. Hey, you're a major $1 million company. You should give these people more money. But yet, on the flip side of it, the promotion in this case is making literally almost all of the money. And everyone's excited about it. What do you give a shit if those seats are sold, if no one's sitting in them? If I watch this G1 show on a stream, because they're trying to find a system in which they can stream the show live online for people who couldn't get in, the same thing with All In. They're going to try and stream it. For those of you who couldn't catch it, they're going to try to find a way to get it streamed online so you guys can still watch it. If I turn this stream on, after all this fucking talk, right? We sold this building out. All In was supposed to be, 10,000 people. Madison Square Garden holds about 16,000 people. Okay? If I turn in the stream for All In and I only see 600 people, you failed. That's a garbage-looking show. I don't give a fuck who's on it. We sold the building out. So where the fuck are the people? Stop telling these people that it's sold out and start beating your chest. I want people in the seats.
Again, I think that the only way that this is going to be solved or people are going to learn from it is to see the actual show unfold and see if the seats are filled up or not. Because they'll learn from their mistakes. They need to make the mistake first.
I don't think they're seeing it as a mistake. I think they see it as a reach. They're just reaching.
No, after this show, after All In, and after this ROH show, if they don't have the seats packed up and it looks practically empty, next time they're not going to go out there and say we're sold out. They learned their lesson.
I said
it's a hard lesson to learn though, because then your product looks crappy when it could have looked amazing.
Yeah.
But
what looks better? A full 4,500 person building?
Jumped the gun. Advertising jumped the gun.
I said this before All In sold their tickets. I did a show. I did a segment at All In before the tickets went on sale. And I said on the show, I don't see them selling it out right away. As we get closer, as they push to promotional stuff, start announcing talent, start announcing matches, as we get closer to September, we'll get closer to sellout. I predict they probably will sell it out, but maybe not until August. This was going back to June and shit, right? Because, it's coming up. By the way, that show is on our anniversary, by the way, September 1st. So I figured as we get close. Then they put the tickets on sale, and some bitch got sold in 26 minutes. And I got killed online because I said, I don't believe it. No fucking way. No independent company ever has come close to 10,000. Never. All have attempted, by the way. How many times did we see, even here in New York? Remember that whatever company who tried to run Citi Field?
But I remember you also telling me that you read online that they said they were sold out, but yet All Japan Pro, right? It's called All Japan Pro? New Japan Pro bought more than half of those tickets.
Yeah, New Japan purchased some tickets. Ring of Honor had purchased some tickets.
They're probably going to do like a package deal where you get air flight and ticket and hotel.
I don't want to sell this image to people like they bought these tickets and then like they just gave them money and stashed tickets away. They purchased the legal rights to these tickets. Another secondary market. So what happens is those tickets go on sale on the New Japan Pro Wrestling site. That's the only reason why they purchased them, so that legally
I think you're gonna have,
they could be another outlet to sell those tickets. But the point is that secondary market. If you tell Tom, Joe, and Harry that the show is sold out, and they don't care enough about wrestling to double check that and just take your word for it.
On the Japan side, when they market it in Japan, they're not going to say it's sold out. They're going to say, hey, we have these tickets.
Because New Japan's smart. Exactly.
And they're going to sell it because they want people to travel over and kind of have it like as this experience.
Yes.
Come to New York, see a show.
But don't you think it makes you look stupid if you go out and you say, I sold all my tickets. I'm sold out. But then the people who you sold the tickets to say, hey, guys, I have tickets for sale. Doesn't that seem a little retarded? A little bit? Hey, guys, we sold the building out. And the guy next to you is going, hey, by the way, I have tickets to that show.
The advertising and marketing goofed.
It's not a goof. It was a simple announcement.
A goof.
And the fans took it and fucking ran with it. I can understand. If I'm Ring of Honor.
You're taking this mistake and you're not blaming the organization.
I'm not blaming the organizations for anything. They made an announcement. They made an announcement.
So you're blaming the fans for repeating the announcement.
I'm blaming the fans for running it into the ground and just beating their chest about it, right? And just, they're not even repeating it. They're just like shouting it into the ground. Okay. We sold the building out. And I'm like, relax.
That doesn't make any sense to me either. If a parent says, oh, fuck you, and then the child hears that and says, oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and now they're saying fuck you all over the place.
And the kid gets in trouble.
Fuck you. The kid gets in trouble, but then you also blame the parent who started that whole mess, because you shouldn't have said that in front of your child.
That's not a good analogy.
So again, no, that is a good analogy.
No, it's not.
Because they're the ones who said it first.
No, but
okay, that's why the children ran with it.
No. See, and
you want to blame the child. I'm looking at the parents.
No, that's not good enough. That's not good, because in your analogy, the parent said fuck. That's a bad word. You don't want your kid repeating it. New Japan and Ring of Honor didn't say anything bad. All they said was we had a successful first day. We sold all of our initial tickets. There's nothing wrong with that. When you take that one announcement, they didn't tag WWE to it. They didn't put a picture up of Kerry Silken with his middle finger in the fucking air going, ha, fuck WWE. Ring of Honor didn't put a tweet out saying, fuck TakeOver, come to G1. That's the fans doing that. They took a good thing, which, by the way, Vince, who doesn't care about anything outside of his bubble, right? Nothing outside of the WWE exists. Even his team, his personal social media team and all that stuff, took the time to congratulate the people involved. It was a good thing.
No,
the fans took it and just went, fuck you.
I think you're mixing two stories together, because you said that the fans took that statement and ran with it, meaning they were saying that it's sold out, and therefore the secondary companies may not sell their tickets, and you may have empty seats. That was your problem. Now you're saying that the fans kind of went overboard in another direction by now taking all their taking that positive response and putting hate on the WWE and all the other companies, right?
It's a fan war. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I had a train of thought and I lost it.
Don't worry about it, because I'm correct anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No. Okay, but I think you're getting that confused with something else that you told me. You told me about that whole inside stuff that was happening with Vince and everything. about how
calling the Garden and shutting him down the first time around. Yeah, he's gonna try.
That's why I think the fans went in that other direction. You're intermingling the two stories and the two comments together. So when it comes to our show is sold out. Yes, they ran with it and said the show is sold out. We did great. We sold out the building. Blah blah blah. It went to the comment you made about the seats being empty, possibly because it's actually not sold out.
Right.
On the other hand, now they're making comments of, fuck you, WWE. We did it. We're amazing.
So what you're saying? What they had a reason?
No.
Vince tried to fuck him.
They did. They made those comments in response to what Vince was trying to do. Vince was trying to shut them down.
Right.
They didn't get shut down. They actually did get the building, and
succeeded.
now they're saying, "Fuck you, Vince. We got the building, and we sold it out."
And I'm going to tell you in response to that's not good enough.
Vince.
No,
but that was response to Vince.
But that's my point.
You know,
you
that was them having pride.
No.
In selling
you shouldn't have
in response
to Vince. No, not good enough. Not good enough.
No,
I don't accept it.
not good enough.
You should not have a fucking response to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is the owner of the WWE. The WWE has been the only company in that building ever.
But the casual fan always feels like they have a right to have a
I'm not talking about the casual. I'm actually talking about the hardcore fan. There's Ring of Honor guys who are sitting here going, fuck Vince McMahon.
They can say that to Vince McMahon. But if Vince McMahon was actually in front of their faces, they wouldn't say half that shit.
Let's just say, for instance, let's just say in this instance, right? The Ring of Honor fans, the New Japan fans, the Pure Soul fans, Strong Style fans, they got to win here. Right? Vince McMahon, the big evil empire, WWE, tried to shut this whole thing down. They failed. Madison Square Garden finally grew a pair, took a chance on these guys, because I'm pretty sure Madison Square Garden didn't know who the fuck a Ring of Honor or a New Japan was up until a few weeks, maybe even months ago. Took a chance on these guys. They sold the building out. Chalk one up to Ring of Honor New Japan. That is a win, right? But on the board, since we're keeping score, is Ring of Honor New Japan, indie fans, 1, WWE, 3,557,193 wins. Okay? You got one win. You shouldn't be talking shit after one fucking win. You should be making these flames go higher and higher so you can stay successful.
They finally got a win. If a loser finally got a W, they would be saying suck it too.
And they would be just as stupid. If you've lost 12,000 fights in a row and then you win one, you can't talk shit.
Yes, they will.
No, you can't.
Yes, they will. Who is that guy? There was a boxer who had the title for a long time and got beat by a nobody.
Tyson?
Was it Tyson?
We got beat by Buster Douglas, that one crazy fight.
Sure. But I bet Buster went around like, I got it, won, suck it, won.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we brought that up.
I'm glad the nearest girl near him.
I'm glad we brought that up because exactly
I'm the winner.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
He's
because
gonna celebrate.
That is my fear. That is my fear. I don't want Ring of Honor in New Japan to be Buster Douglas. That's what my fear is. You just gave me the perfect analogy to use for my argument. Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. It's controversial, mouthpiece, excuses, yada, yada. He won the fight. He toppled the untoppable, right? He won one fight. The next fight, as defending champion, he got waxed. We never saw his bitch ass again.
But he will still always be the person
who knocked out Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
You know what that means? Nothing. He's a trivia question. That's it.
And a legacy.
No money. No legacy. You didn't even remember his name. What legacy?
Who the fuck
you were
cares?
like, who's that boxing guy with that boxing?
And New Japan, it would love to be a trivia question.
No, they don't. They shouldn't want that. Don't be a trivia question.
They would love it.
They'd rather be
one trivia question than no trivia question.
You know what this whole situation has done up until this.
But this
Madison
is just
Square
the
Garden.
beginning, though. So I mean, it's just the beginning,
right? Which is why you shouldn't be talking shit. It's just the beginning. Up until this situation, Ring of Honor and New Japan had a very good working relationship with WWE. Shinsuke's debut in the WWE, they were using New Japan Pro footage, all these little DVDs and stuff they've been putting out for the talent using Ring of Honor footage. They've been coinciding with one another. This doesn't help that situation at all.
Yes, but they're not the one saying all that shit. According
Ring
to
of
you,
Honor?
Yeah,
no, they're not talking shit.
It's the fans.
Right, but
so
I mean, they're hurting that case.
They're not hurting their kids. The fans are. And Vince doesn't care about the online fans. Vince don't look
Are you
online
shitting me? Of
comments.
course he gives a shit.
He doesn't.
Every 2 seconds,
no,
hashtag this, Twitter this, more followers than this.
He doesn't give a shit.
Come on, that's all he listens to.
Because they talk all the time about who they want to see more and who they want to see less, and he doesn't give a shit about
that
their
part
opinions.
He doesn't give a shit about because he's gonna
Triple
run his show the way he's gonna run. He hears everything.
Okay, Triple H pays attention.
What do you think Triple H's mentality is now about Ring of Honor and New Japan? Can you imagine how Triple H must feel right now? Because I know Vince didn't go to New Japan and Ring of Honor asking for footage. Vince didn't make that call. Somebody made that call for Vince. Who do you think was the one elbowing?
Somebody who doesn't care.
Who do you think was elbowing the old man saying, hey, if we burn up this footage, we're just going to make our product look really good? Oh, yeah, sure, go. And then he goes and does it. And then they go and do this. So Vince is like, are you fucking serious?
Because he doesn't see them as competition, so he don't give a fuck. It's not really bothering them.
Wait. If Vince didn't see them as competition, why did he make the phone call then? Why bother even canceling it? They're not competition. There's no way they're going to sell that building out.
He's petty.
That's it. He's just petty.
He's just petty. He's the type of...
Mine. This toy's mine.
He's the type of guy where at a senior prom, one guy asks a freshman out, and the guy goes to the principal... This is only a senior prom. Only seniors should be there. Okay? He would be that type.
Yeah. Remember
that freshman can't be there.
Did I ever tell you the Paul Heyman story about Vince McMahon and his sneeze?
And his sneeze?
Sneeze.
You did tell me once, but you may tell all the
for those of you who've never
uncensored fans.
Yeah, for those of you who've never heard the story before, Paul Heyman told the story. He's told it on a few different shows, but for the most part, the short version of the story is this: is that one time Paul Heyman was at a writers' meeting. This is back when he was the head writer for SmackDown, and they were at a meeting. They're going through the whole meeting. Vince talking, blah blah blah, and right in the middle of whatever Vince is saying, Vince starts to do the whole flinching thing, and then all of a sudden, and nothing happened. It didn't even come out, right? So you could tell it right after that. He starts getting you can see him a little frustrated, and then eventually the sneeze comes out, whatever, and he just goes ballistic. Oh, he's profanity, yada yada yada. He actually canceled the rest of the meeting. So Paul Heyman leaves the meeting, and he's talking, I think, to Steph or somebody, and he goes, "Can you imagine a guy who loves, thrives, and just needs to be in such control all the time that a sneeze, a bodily function that no human can control, that a sneeze would fuck him up because he can't control the sneeze. Like, he's that in control of things. Like, he needs to be in full control of things so badly that anything out of control just fucking kills him." Can you imagine his fucking face when someone else took his toy and shined it up? Because to be honest with you, you've lived here your whole life, okay? Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena, that's stretching it in 2018. There's not a whole lot going on at the Garden. It's not necessarily the world's most famous arena anymore. I've been to a lot of arenas in my lifetime, and Madison Square Garden doesn't really measure up to a lot of the places that I've fucking been. Okay? Madison Square Garden doesn't exactly have the lure that it once had. There's no great boxing matches. The Knicks are trash. They've been trashed for decades.
But they haven't been there in a very long time.
The WWE stopped going there. They do house shows every now and then.
Yeah, their major pay-per-views haven't been there
a long time. The Rangers are okay, but they don't make a lot of nothing. Nothing happening.
Madison Square Garden is
living off of a reputation of a long time ago.
Ex-girlfriend. That's what it is.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's an ex-girlfriend. Okay.
Dated for 2 months. It's an ex-girlfriend that you dated for 2 months 10 years ago. But you still don't want anybody else to date her.
No, for a long time, for decades, they had some of their best. Remember that even in the territorial days, when everybody was selected to their own little territories, the WWE always had the Garden, and they would run the Garden weekly back in the day, and then last, and then last, and then last, and then like Attitude Era.
Okay, fine.
That was the only New York.
It was
building.
the ex-girlfriend you had the most amazing sex with in your life for
that
2 months.
That was the ex-wife, essentially.
And then you haven't seen for 10 years.
Yeah, and you just don't want nobody else fucking with your stuff.
Exactly, you don't want everybody else to have that.
Yeah, well, Ring of Honor and New Japan banged the shit out of his ex-wife, and he's not happy.
He's not, but he hasn't been there in a while.
They might make a baby.
And she has needs too.
She does have needs. Well, you know what's funny?
And she needs her seats to be filled.
Even if it's by a secondary market.
Exactly.
It's I have a distinct feeling because remember there was a phone call made and then there was a cancellation. Remember, Madison Square Garden, they had this date before, August 6th. They canceled it. What happened between that moment to putting it back on again? I guess we'll never know. But as soon as it was back on again, I mean, the wheels moved fast. There was announcements made. Remember, we saw the YouTube video. Tickets went on sale fast. It's only August. They're selling tickets for an April show. You know, this thing became real, like really fucking fast. And it's the G1. For those of you who don't follow New Japan, it's their biggest tournament, their biggest event. You know, it's like their Royal Rumble, their Survivor Series. So the G1 is going to be, again, in Madison Square Garden, April 6th, going head-to-head. We didn't even get into that. But maybe that's another topic for another day. As we get closer, because, again, this show takes place in April. So as we get closer, we'll start to do a little bit more conversation about G1 versus the NXT TakeOver, which is a whole nother fucking bag of shit that needs to be discussed. Because as of right now, it's just two events heading against each other. We know that TakeOvers are awesome. We know the G1 is awesome. As we get closer, we'll get more specifics, and then we'll really start to break down. Because the problem now in New York is going to be which one do you go to? Which one? Like, a lot of fans, when it was announced, were pissed because they're like, how am I supposed to fucking choose which one I'm going to go to? So we'll see. We'll talk about that as we get closer. That is our top news story of the week. Again, as a reminder, folks, we are getting the fuck out of here Thursday morning. Life has thrown 8 million bricks at us over the course of the last 7 days in an effort to try to dampen what is supposed to be a very happy time in the Orsini household. But we're holding strong and holding true. And this Thursday, we are going to be on an airplane headed to sunny, hopefully. Sunny, because last time we went to Florida, we got hit with a monsoon. So, sunny Orlando, Florida. If you're listening to this show right now and you are in Florida, please welcome us with open arms. We will be and if anybody out there who lives in Florida wants to give us passes to an attraction for free, much like the last time we were in Florida, I would not say no to some free attraction passes. If you guys are true fans of the show, you will hook me up. Me and my family, by the way, not just me. I'm not going to Disney World by myself. That would be terrible. Mrs. O, thank you so much for being here. I know you got to be exhausted. We gotta start wrapping this up.
Good night.
Yes. Good day and good night. Bang. I'm not gonna take the guy's catchphrase, all right? But it is a pretty dope one. I have my own catchphrase, and it goes like this: thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing, and of course, thank you for enjoying. Catch me this Sunday, folks. SummerSlam Roundtable. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our fallen brother, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, I give you our 10 bill salute. Thank you guys, and good night.